I've just kind of worked on myself and worked on my mental health and worked on just being a mentally strong basketball player.
Your Celtics.com pregame interview is presented by Putnam Investments.
Well, there may be no player on Boston's roster that knows about March Madness more than this guy, R.J. Hunter. Back in 2015, you'll never forget that shot, right? He makes a three-pointer at the end of the game to push Georgia State to an upset win as a number 14 seed. What do you remember about that moment, and how often do you think about it at this time of year?
A lot this time of year. I actually forget about it like throughout the year, and then I just randomly see clips about it. And I was just talking to my friend last night. I didn't really recognize the importance or magnitude of it when it happened. Like, the older I get and the more I continue to see it year after year, it still kind of hits me. It's kind of like, wow, that was a big play just for the situation, my dad and everything.
Well, talking about your dad, I just asked Brad Stevens what he remembered about that, and he said, well, I just hope that his dad didn't break his other leg. What do you and your dad talk about when you look back at those moments that you spent together?
Well, now he's like so hype. I'm just like, don't get hurt again. Like, I say that first off. And then second, we just talk about how crazy it is. Like, again, just being removed, you kind of get perspective on everything, and just how we were both just so thirsty to be in the tournament, let alone kind of have one of the cooler moments in the tournament is just unbelievable for us, too. And I know that'll never get old for us.
You talk about perspective. Shortly after that moment, you get drafted by the Celtics. You leave for a couple years, and now you're back. Where do you think that you've developed the most since that first stint with the Celtics?
It's got to be mental. I mean, as you know, you've been around the game. You travel with the team. This complete grind is just mental. You know what I mean? So I've just kind of worked on myself and worked on my mental health and worked on just being a mentally strong basketball player, and everything else will follow. I trust my skill. It's just about how good you can be mentally and engaged on the floor.
When you talk about improving mentally, like, how does that change you on the court?
It just kind of frees you up. You know, if you're not right mentally, you're just not free in movements and you're not free in focus. And that'll never allow you to be to reach your full potential. So just trying to be free-flowing. I'm still working. I'm not at where I want to be, but I've made huge strides in it, and I'm very proud of myself.
You just got called up yesterday. What type of impact do you want to make when you do get the call up to join the Celtics?
Just good energy and be a good vibe, you know what I mean? That time could come at any moment, and I'm ready for that. But just meanwhile, just being a good person and just scoping the scene. I've been around before. It is different now, but I know a lot of the people here, so I'm just going to try to bring the knowledge that I had before this and just be myself.
All right, that's R.J. Hunter. Him and the Celtics will look to get in a little March Madness themselves tonight when they take on the Hornets in Charlotte at 6 p.m.